Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. 9 contestants will meet at Victoria Park on Saturday, October 7th, as they vie for the 2023 Miss SVG crown. The contestants in this year's pageant are Letitia Barber, Miss Grenadine House, Denicia Boswin, Miss Metricent General Insurance Limited, Deanna Fairbairn, Miss Lottery, Miss National Lotteries Authority, Arena Foy, Miss Massey Stores Limited, Trina Hooper, Miss Play 4, Nyala Board, Miss Flo, Simisha Millington, Miss Careers Ace Hardware, Tara Richardson, Miss JCI St. Vincent, and Roisha Telima, Miss In Transit Exports. Attendees at this year's pageant can expect to experience an even more entertaining production than last year, as the Beauty Shows Committee says they are doing their part in ensuring that the pageant is kept in line with regional and international standards. Last year's pageant saw Jada Ross, Miss Lotto, crowned Miss SVG as she came out on top in the talent and interview categories at the Annisville Sporting Complex. This year's pageant will emanate from the Victoria Park on Saturday, October 7th at 8 p.m. The governments of Benin and St. Vincent and the Grenadines have established diplomatic relations in accordance with the provisions of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961. The joint communique was signed in New York City on October 3rd, 2023. Her Excellency Inga Rhonda King, Ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the United Nations, signed a joint communique on behalf of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Benin, the joint communique was signed by His Excellency Mark Herman Araba, Ambassador of the Republic of Benin to the United Nations. The governments are desirous of strengthening the friendly relations and developing mutual beneficial cooperation in various fields. Still on the local scene, the young man who was injured in an accident while riding his motorcycle on Sunday, 23rd September, is reported to still be unresponsive. Dario Brown, age 30, is currently at the Southern Medical Center in San Fernando, Trinidad, receiving treatment for injuries sustained in the accident. According to Searchlight News, Dario has had 2 surgeries since arriving in Trinidad but remains unconscious. Family member Shelley Brown disclosed that he has had a surgery on his spine and one on his hands. His mother has accompanied him to Trinidad to seek further medical attention. The young man, employed by Vinlec, was left with severe brain and spinal injuries as a result of the accident. On the regional scene, members of the St. Lucia Police Force have successfully completed a 5-day forensic science techniques and crime scene management workshop. The workshop began on Monday, September 25th and concluded on Friday, September 29th, 2023. The workshop was conducted at the Police Force Academy and targeted crime scene officers and investigators. A total 23 police officers participated in the workshop, which was facilitated by forensic science instructors from the National Police of France. The aim of the workshop was to strengthen the technical knowledge of investigators in managing a crime scene. The Royal Police Force of St. Lucia says they remain committed to providing its officers with the necessary training and resources to effectively carry out their duties and better serve their communities. The government of Barbados is set to build 2 new public secondary schools through a partnership with an international nonprofit organization. The country's Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, made the announcement on Thursday that her administration will be acquiring lands at Chelston Park, St. Michael, to establish these two learning institutes. At the time, Motley was speaking at the launch of the education transformation proposals at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. She said the partnerships will come with entities outside of Barbados, as we have already established XQ Institute, who has agreed to build the two secondary schools for us once the government provides the land, which we have already started to do. She also explained that the partnership will come with a twinning of the Erdiston Teachers Training College with an Ivy League school to be able to ensure that the capacity constraints of Erdiston and Barbados, with a declining population, do not undermine the ability to reform education. And finally, on the international scene, Uganda's opposition politician, Bobi Wine, has said that more than 300 people have been arrested by authorities since Monday in what he calls an illegal clampdown on his supporters. Bobby disclosed that his lawyers were able to have many of them released by paying a bond. On Thursday, his supporters had planned to greet him at Entebbe International Airport and accompany him to his home in a huge march, but police have said that this is illegal. According to the opposition, he was instead picked up by plainclothes officers and, against his will, driven to his home by security forces. Law enforcers say they have arrested 40 suspects in their operations on Thursday, including an MP, for inciting violence. Rights groups have routinely accused Uganda's president of using the police and the military to suppress the opposition. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.